They're ethereally magical, been around for a very, very long time. They show up in numerous cultures all around the world, from being Scotland's national animal to appearing in the ancient myths of India and China. The earliest descriptions even appeared in Greek literature, and the Greeks considered them part of the natural world rather than of myth. In Christianity, they represent the incarnation of Christ, a symbol of purity and grace. They are the symbol of pure innocence, love, and personal power. They also represent joy, adventure, and purely exist to embody light energies. And they explore what the meaning is to be and embody pure light. Can you guess what they are? If not, hold tight and keep your ears open. Hello, I'm Sarah, and if you haven't guessed what I was just talking about, I'm going to tell you now. Unicorns. This week's episode is about establishing authentic safety, the golden age, the future of Earth and humanity, and of course, unicorns. Those wonderfully magical beings that absolutely and utterly embody and represent unconditional love, safety, completeness, and an energy where polarity does not exist. I can't wait for you to hear what's ahead in this episode. I'm not gonna lie, but you'll possibly be blown away. So I had another wonderful Akashic reading guided by my magical friend Jen. We had an open intention to go somewhere fun, perhaps the unicorn realm. I'm going to give you no more spoilers and play you the audio recording of my Akashic reading, as Jen not only has such an amazing gift of connecting and accessing the Akashic records, but she's so smartly articulate and depicts her visuals so wonderfully and creatively that you can completely connect to her journey. So, take a nice comfortable seat, grab a cup of something nice, and close your eyes while listening. I'm sure you'll have as a wonderful journey as I did. And then I'll come back after the audio to just go through a few of the concepts that she talks about. I'm excited for you to hear.
To visit with whoever it is we need to visit. Perhaps in the unicorn realm. Whoa. Okay. There's I'm in like this wormhole. It's like a bright blue tunnel, and things are moving around me, like so I can see the lights kind of moving, and it's turning to like a lavender color. That was really weird. Okay, I just am here. Okay, this is the place that I started seeing earlier. It's wow. Okay, I just find my words here. It's so pretty. So this is like a world. They don't have a sun, and I keep hearing starlight when I'm like asking about it, because it's not quite twilight bright. It's like full moon bright. But instead of coming from a moon, it's the stars and the nebula that this planet is in.
Yeah.
The stars are so bright that it creates like a full moon type of light. So like you can see, but it's not like sunny and warm, and it's not like our planet is.
Yeah.
And because this world lives in a state of perpetual darkness, perpetual starlight,
Yeah.
like a lot of the plants are bioluminescent.
Oh, wow.
So like the moss glows and the flowers glow.
That's so cool.
And that's one of the reasons why unicorns are white, is so they can also reflect the light that they're receiving. Oh.
Wow.
It's pretty. I see one. He's so I'm looking at this tree, and it's not quite like a weeping willow, but it's this really big looking tree, and it's, instead of branches that are flowing down, it's like flower vines, or like vines. And they have the tree's flowers on them, and they look a lot like magnolia flowers. Now she says, "Where do you think magnolia flowers come from, silly? They are a gift from the unicorn realm."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like kind of like standing next to this tree is this white unicorn, and the ground beneath her feet has like mossy rocks and like soft. It reminds me of a kind of moss that we have. It's like a plant that's really fuzzy, and it's got little flowers on it.
Yeah.
It's a ground cover. You could walk on it barefoot, and it's just squishy and soft. That's like what's on the ground here, and they're little glowy flowers.
And does the unicorn have any messages for us?
The magic lies within you. And then there's this really, really bright light. And an instruction that when we do work, this kind of work, that we need to consciously ground our energy, so that way we are not using our own energy in these doings. It's a weird thing to say, these doings. What would you like to know?
Are there any visible like unicorns on this earth that people can connect to?
The polarity is too great. We are in a much more harmonious existence. We are connected to Earth through the energies, but we are not physically compatible with the despair that is present there.
Yeah.
And with the despair, I've got these just feelings of oh yeah, they live a much purer existence. It doesn't have nearly as much texture as Earth School does.
What's their mission? What are they there learning?
Right. We exist purely to embody light energies and to explore the meaning of what it is to embody these energies. And I'm getting like just this really like loungy, mellow feeling. Like if you can imagine what it might feel like to never have discovered great polarity. Or you've never felt threatened or unsafe. You've never worried about whether or not you'd be provided for. You wouldn't worry if there was going to be pain. You don't worry about discomfort. You just, all your needs are met. This is the frequency of the unicorn. Unconditional love. There is a slight separation between us, but we all share a telepathic collective consciousness, not only with ourselves, but also with the environment around us. And so we are friends with the rocks, and we are friends with the trees, and we are friends with the flowers beneath our feet. Our task is that of pure experience, to experience this level of existence. It is vastly different from the polarity dynamic of the Earth School.
Yeah.
So she's walking somewhere. I'm following her.
Yeah, let's see where she wants to go.
We're walking through woods. It's like we're in the woods, and it's not the wild woods like here in Maine where the farm forests are impossible to walk through. These are ancient forests that have long since perfected their homeostasis. And so they're stable, and so they can be walked through. And it almost resembles a groomed forest. Like the trees have a really nice spacing apart from them so you can still see, but it's still like a total forest coverage, like and canopies above us, and there's little mushrooms, little fairy people. All manner of magical folk. Yeah, and so I'm looking at a circle of mushrooms now. And I think this is, the friendly fae. And they even have little pointed hats on. They have wings, little pointed hats, and smiling little faces with upturned noses.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is asking me to follow her inside of her little mushroom house.
It's so cute.
Oh my gosh. And she's, come on, come on. And yeah, she has like a little body, but her aura is more dominant than her physical body.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So like in humans, it's flipped. Like our physical body is stronger than our energetic body. Like it's denser to the eye. She's opposite. Like they look like they're more energy than dense matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's gonna do something. Yeah, I don't know if I want to take any fairy gifts here.
Keep your cookies.
I don't know. Are these like earth fairies? Yeah, she's very busy and insistent. I mean, I've been tricked by a fairy before here. He had me for lunch. And it wasn't very fun.
Oh, no?
No, like a spider. Like he sucked my energy out.
Oh, dear.
Oh, okay. She doesn't like that. She's looking at me and she's going, no, 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 no. Okay. Nice. Okay. Welcome in these energies of grounding light. And she's somehow shrunk to be her size now. And she's like sprinkling this energy over me. So weird. It's not like dust. It's like light. Like it really is like Tinkerbell sparkles. Like
yeah.
Grounding light to bring you back to center. Remember, this is where your true perception lies. Your subtle senses give you the key to being able to take in the entire view without the obstructions. As we showed you earlier, the subtle senses are located in each of your energy centers. These are your subtle senses. They are themselves more powerful than your physical senses because using these senses will allow you to engage in an unobstructed view of your perception, surroundings, world space.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you use your exterior senses, this is filtered through your ego. which is effectively the machine that you're inside of. It's got blind spots. Spots where you can't see. You only have windows in certain places. And when you use and engage your subtle senses, you're able to actually see without the windows. You can just see everything. That's one of the reasons why using the subtle senses has been forgotten about in humankind. Because humankind chose to experience itself with a mostly obstructed viewpoint for a very long window of time. As humankind is evolving and growing, maturing, spiritual puberty, then it is now time to remember and rediscover how to see in an unobstructed way. Almost like a game of memory. You knew how to work with your own energy before, and then humankind was like, oh, we're going to flip it over for a bit. We're going to practice how to exist. We're going to experience existing while we forget how to use this. And now they're rediscovering it. That is the true nature of the awakening process that is proceeding. The next step. Do you have any questions about that?
So it wasn't intentional. This was intentional. Was it?
It was an intentional move made by the collective consciousness of humanity energy. So it wasn't just one person. It was part of the earth contract for humans being on it. So all together, all of humans put together decided to engage in this form of growth on planet Earth. And so that's the level of the contract that we are now shifting at this time.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Changes the view a little bit, looking at it on such a massive spectrum. It wasn't just one soul that decided they were going to engage in the shift. It was the entire species consciousness.
Yeah.
All at slightly different times. It is not a completely simultaneous shift.
I wonder if they can see where the Earth is going in the next few years.
More and more. Yeah, I was seeing there's a metal, no, it's a rock, like a rock wall, but it looks like it's kind of like old and it's crumbling. But new systems are being built up step by step. This is the importance behind this change taking place over a prolonged period of time. Slowly, it must crumble to give the new infrastructure enough time to rise up and mature. And I'm seeing like trees growing. Like it was like man-made walls. And now I'm seeing like these really cool trees coming up instead of their branches are going to be like the supports of the bridge.
Yeah.
Ooh. So humanity, as they mature, they are coming to a realization that their slavery has been self-imposed. The first step is to recognize themselves that they are slaves. And also, then they are to recognize that they have committed themselves into slavery. All of them. Because they spend their lives doing things that they do not want to do for reasons they don't want to do them for. But they are maturing to a point where they are capable of recognizing that they can take care of themselves. They can provide for themselves. What we are saying ultimately is that money is going to go away. It will no longer be necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because the work is a distraction. Just as money is a distraction, because wealth is in the accumulation of health. It is in the exploration. Many people do not realize that they are slaves at this time. Yet they are. Because this energy that you refer to as money, all it does is secure an illusion of safety. The safety is not a gift that can be given. It can only be created. Human beings are capable now of creating their own feeling of safety. And they will not need to receive this from the energy of money for very much longer. Does this make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
There's going to be a lot of changes as this realization occurs throughout the human consciousness. As they move away from the energies of money, your world will rise in frequency to be a closer match to the level of our own. This is the coming golden age that has been spoken of through the ages.
Is this golden age similar to the energy of Atlantis or Lemuria?
Yes. Lemuria. Atlantis was a byproduct of the star people's ego. They wished to create the perfect society. Humans were not ready for many of the gifts that they received. And so we have seen a massive regression because their consciousness had to grow into the ability to navigate these gifts independently. Gifts of self-realization can never be given. They must be made at the individual level, even when the individual level involves such a massive collective consciousness, such as humankind. There are still technologies today that humankind has not realized themselves and are not mature enough to navigate themselves. It is because of this that it has been allowed for the Starseed program to commence. Because the Star people have continued to interfere with this natural progression of evolution and learning. And I'm seeing all kinds of like pictures of things. I think that they're saying that they gave us technology that they weren't supposed to give us. And there's no, not a pencil. It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, there's like, yeah, I see rockets and nuclear power plants and computers and cell phones and microwaves and telephones. And there's like some kind of a tower, and I see it radiating energy, like almost like in a cartoon image. Wireless signals. Yeah. And the bombs. Okay, yeah, the bombs were something that were given with the best of intentions. But from the outside. So I'm sitting with this fairy lady. And we're just, okay, no, we're not sitting. We're just kind of standing there talking. And I'm not in her house anymore. I'm like in a little, it's almost like a courtyard where their little mushrooms grow. They're like in a circle, and then in the middle is like where it's where they meet and they dance and they have parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of standing out in the courtyard, and it's really big.
Are there any other little fairy people there? Or is it just you and her for now?
There's others, and they're about, but they're not directly with us. It looks like they're just kind of minding their own business. And admiring the unicorn. Unicorn is line 6 energy.
Lion 6.
Okay. So they're showing me there's like it's a triangle, but I can't quite tell. I think they're just trying to share that the unicorn holds the most evolved energy on the planet. And there's like lower levels of consciousness. And the fairies are like a little bit further below the unicorn. Yeah, they've got a little bit more polarity, diversity perspective. Yes, and they're more separated than the unicorns. So their consciousness feels a little more similar to our own. It's still different because they still think in pictures. So when she's talking to me, she's sending me like an image that has the emotion or idea encoded in it. Have you ever talked to any creatures like that, Sarah, where they don't use words, they use pictures to communicate?
Yeah.
I've heard some animals do.
Mm-hmm.
They're cousins to the fairies here on Earth.
Oh.
The fairies here on Earth have more polarity and are further divided because this is the nature of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most polarized planet in the universe. And so for people who are nervous about working with Earth fairies in our realm are much more docile. Because they live in this harmonious plane of existence.
Mm-hmm.
So it is safer to call on the energies of these fairies. What would you like to know about?
Is there anything that you think we should know that would be beneficial to us?
Everything around you has a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And so the clearer you can get on your own perspective, on following the inclinations of your own spirit, the greater your ability to perceive these inclinations in others. The way to assist others to engage in the frequency of harmony is first to practice learning how to emit this frequency yourself.
Mm-hmm.
To study the fields of energy. And my hands are kind of like buzzing and tingling, like they're talking about the hand energy, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do Reiki, Sarah?
I do. Yeah, I can do healing energy through my hands.
It seems like there's an encouragement to work with this energy,
Mm-hmm.
if that feels right.
Yeah.
And the more that we do this, the more others will be able to perceive it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And already they are growing in number. And so the perception is growing in strength.
Mm-hmm. able to send healing energy to people who that don't know we're sending them to, or would that be interfering with their karma, or would we be creating karma?
We can send the healing energy in whatever direction we like. It will only be received if the receiving party is open to it for their highest good on an unconscious level. Sometimes they might consciously, no, not for me. But their ego might be in the way.
Yeah.
So the unconscious mind will make the final and overriding decision every time. So there is no need to worry. Because nothing is done without a contract. If there's no contract, then nothing can be done.
Okay.
Karma happens when we get in the way of ourselves, when we're not in peace, when we've done something or explored a new idea or concept, and then we need to find the other side of it, the other side of the concept, the other side of the line, the other end of the stick. And so that's all karma is. It's just a side mission. When you've run upstairs to go get the laundry and then you got sidetracked doing something else for a little while, you will eventually go back to the thing that you were exploring before. So karma is always self-imposed. So if you're sending healing energy to somebody and you feel to yourself that you need to explore, what if I get in trouble for this? What if I'm not supposed to be doing this? Then you will explore it. And you will clear the karma when you find a measure of peace within that, on one side or the other. And you release resistance against the idea. So what we're saying is it is your choice if you incur karma. And each individual is also responsible for releasing it themselves. Responsible for, capable of. You can release your karma whenever you're ready. This is true for all souls, human and non-human alike.
Are we able to contribute to helping heal karma in the world, not regarding people? Or does that exist? Country karma?
Yes. So it's like adding water to the pool. Oh, I'm trying to translate this and they're showing me like colors on a painting, but I don't think I don't think it's going where they're intending for it to go. I'm not translating it right. They're saying yes, that it's like the more that there are people who are releasing their karma, they give off a certain frequency that adds a musical note or a color to the spectrum of humanity's collective consciousness, right? Every time you have a thought, it contributes to that frequency in the global field. And they are showing that every time any of us engage in this, releasing our own karma, And we do that by embodying our own frequencies of joy and abundance, belonging. Every time we do that, we are showing other people how to do it, because the more that they are exposed to a frequency, the easier it is for them to be able to replicate its tone.
Yeah.
Tone. And then they're showing me color or sound. These are all different ways that we can define a frequency. You can name a frequency. And the more we're exposed to that language, the more we learn it. So the more you're exposed to a certain word or concept, right, the more easier you're able to locate it. And that's how we help. That's why our being is more important than our doing. Because the doing is the resistance. Learning to be is what happens when we release our resistance.
We need to be beers.
Ears. Be in your being. It's how you release the pressure of doing. You don't need to worry about the things you're worrying about. And one by one, these little lights are just popping up, and it's producing like this glow. And the more lights that go off around us, the easier we're able to see. And as we learn how to be, remember how to be, our lights glow brighter, and they provide, say, a louder frequency.
How amazing was all of that? Literally mind-opening wisdom. I got so much from that session. Jen got so much information from that fairy and unicorn. So many nuggets of wisdom. But one thing I'd like to point out was the part where she spoke about humanity. And as we mature, we're coming to the realization that slavery has been self-imposed. When I first heard that, I was like, ooh. But then she went on to say that we've actually been slaves and spent our whole lives doing things we don't want to do. Now, this obviously doesn't go for everyone in the world, but the majority of us have been spending so much time on things we don't want to do, and for reasons we don't know or we don't want to do them for. But now we're growing into a maturing point where we're able to recognize that we can actually take care of ourselves and provide for ourselves in a non-monetary way. She went on to say that in the future, money is going to go away. It will no longer be necessary because really work and money is a distraction. It's a distraction of our self-realization, as wealth really is the accumulation of our health and our inner wisdom. So as the energy of money and the illusion of safety it brings us starts to dissipate, we'll start to develop new ways of providing safety. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the show notes a mindfulness meditation for those of you who feel a little bit insecure or unstable or you feel that there's a lack. It can be a financial lack or any kind of lack, because we have our own ability to provide our own safety, our own inner safety. And Jen says that, well, the fairy was saying to Jen that safety is something that we can't be given. It's something that we can only create ourselves. Even though money, the illusion, the energy of money sometimes gives us that safety feeling, but it's actually that safety feeling is something that we actually create ourselves through the modality of money. So I'd love for you to listen to the audio in the show notes and let me know how you get on, if it's something that you're interested in. I loved the part where we were told that we can tap into our energy centers and develop our subtle senses. And these subtle senses themselves are more powerful than our physical senses, and they actually allow us to engage in an unobstructed view of the world. And that's really interesting, because it can allow us to have an overall picture of what's really going on and all of this trouble all around the world. And, it can help us understand things more. I also love, I was laughing at the part where she says that humankind is growing and evolving from its spiritual puberty and is now in a time where we're rediscovering and remembering our innate abilities to tap into our subconscious mind, to develop our healing abilities, to work with energy and create our own lives and not rely on external resources, build our empowerment. All of this is remembering. I loved that part. So if there's anything at all you can take from this episode, is to know that you have an innate capacity, an ability, it's a natural way of your being. It's a natural part of us to create our own safety. We don't need to rely on external resources or energies to help us feel safe, secure, provided for, nourished and cared for. And it's all about self-empowerment and self-realization. I am so grateful for your open ears and open mind, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Jen is somebody I cannot recommend enough. She has developed her, speaking of natural abilities and our innate capacity, she has developed her senses so well that she can completely connect. She can access the Akashic records. She has so many healing modalities. She is somebody who I cannot recommend enough. And I highly suggest you get in contact with her and reach out and have a consultation if it's something that you're interested in, and exploring either healing, places for fun, just there's so many possibilities. I'll leave her information as well in the show notes. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate your listening. If you have enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you rated this podcast or shared it with a friend or anyone that you think might benefit, or anybody that you think might find it interesting. I'd be so grateful. Thank you so much, and remember to reach out in the comments or on my website or Instagram. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care.